This video marks the beginning of the One Element Challenge, where I will be going through all 3 parts of the Forgotten Hall to see how long we survive with each element. The element we are starting the series off with is fire, meaning I am limited to these 5 characters. The rules are as followed. Only 1 element can be used per run, only 3 chances per stage, character builds cannot be altered in any way. For example, if my Sampo is level 1, he has to stay level 1 throughout the duration of the challenge. An attempt has to be made for each part before the challenge is considered dead. The goal is survivability, so the run ends when I fail, not if I win with no stars. The runs will be on auto and I cannot interfere with the computer, even if it makes very obvious and stupid mistakes. Now that the rules are made, let's start the challenge. And if you'd like to see more challenge runs like this, be sure to like and subscribe and join my Patreon. Now, you'll notice that there's already data saved here, and that's because I've tried to record this 4 separate times. Yes, 4, meaning I have seen the outcome 4 times. Does that mean I'll spoil it for you? No, you gotta watch the video for yourself. Naturally, I could totally solo the first 7 or 8 stages with Topaz, but that would take too long. I should know, of course. So instead, the dynamic duo of Tax Evader and Debt Collector are going to burn every enemy in their path. While they leave 3rd-degree burns to everyone, I would like to take a second to acknowledge how stupid it is that I can literally still hear voice lines while in the Forgotten Hall. I cannot count on my fingers how many times I have heard, "Come to think of it, I haven't chatted with Sunny in ages. Let's go see what he's up to." Genuinely, I would rather listen to Bronya moan in my ear than this stupid-ass line, "Go Nuppy!" Please, for the love of God. Anyway, we reached stage 10, and it is at this point that I am revving up the Bunsen burners because we have Asta and Himiko joining the team, although it's only temporary. Because as soon as we get to stage 11, we are met with our first real challenge, which is splitting into 2 teams. The plan was obviously going to consist of me splitting the Arsonist into 2 teams of 2, with 1 5-star and 1 4-star, but I wasn't sure how long that plan was going to stay intact. So ironically, Asta has this line when she uses her technique that says, "I found your weakness." Guys, I blanked on the voice line. That's so good. Except none of them have been weak to fire so far. It's kind of funny. Anyway, Asta has yet to say the line when she said it so many times before, so now I kind of sound crazy, but you know, that's, I'm not crazy. Anywho, we've met our first defeat, which means I have to actually think about what to do and turn my brain on. So with 1 strike, I switched the comps around to see if that made a difference. And it didn't. We were down to 1 final chance when I remembered something. We have 1 more fire character at our disposal. Pitch Dark Hook the Great. So with Hook filling in the ranks for the second half, we give it 1 more try.
Found your weakness.
Oh my gosh, guys, Asta said the thing. She said the line, guys. I make sure to use my techniques this time and pray that Hook has bought Himiko and Gui enough time. And she did. The run is still alive for this part. We are now on to stage 13, and victory is within our sights as we keep LeBron Hook in the play for now. With 2 stages left, things are getting a little dire as we faced Bronya and Svarog. I switched the nodes because I knew Topaz was capable of handling Svarog with Asta, but could the others handle Bronya? Of course they could, because they had LeBron Hook come in with a slam dunk buzzer beater. And with Asta coming in clutch to save Topaz, we move on to the final stage. Stage 15 starts off really bad. And I definitely sat here trying to determine what the best course of action was. I started by switching the teams to see if Topaz, Asta would fare better against Japard. It was at this point that the computer was making me a little annoyed because it definitely made some questionable decisions at best. beat Japard and move on to the second node, which would make or break our run. And they were actually faring a lot better than I thought they were, and I was happy to report that we successfully beat the first part of the Forgotten Hall, Eurillo 6. And with that out of the way, we were on to the Laofu part of the Forgotten Hall, which thankfully only had 6 stages instead of 15. The only major difference was that we immediately started off with 2 nodes, and the level of enemies started at 50. Yikes. Holy, I have never seen Himiko crit that much. What the hell, guys? This was the part I was really worried about, because it was already getting a little dicey, and as expected, Himiko and the bomb squad were wiped out. So now it was time for Tosta. Yeah, that's right, I said it, guys. New ship name, new ship alert, Tosta, to handle the Arumatons like I knew they would. Or maybe not. What the fuck is going on, guys? What is going on? So now we're on our 3rd attempt, and I am not feeling very hopeful because these things are ridiculously tanky, and I have no more surprise fire units to pull out. And with 3 valid attempts made, that concluded our run for the Laofu Forgotten Hall. On to Phase 3, which was the Memory of Chaos. Well, that was a very short-lived leg of our challenge run. But it's okay, because maybe we can turn things around in the Memory of Chaos. And I'm sure this part is what you guys have been waiting for anyway, because most of you probably forgot there are 2 other parts of the Forgotten Hall that need to be done. But, you know, it's no big deal. That's what I'm here for. So we start the run off with Tosta, my OTP, of course. But it might not have been the right move because we met our demise shortly after.
Application.
And while scratching my head to try and come up with a different play and get us through the very first stage, I remembered that we do have one underdog that could come in clutch for us. It was the MVP, the GOAT, the myth, the man, the legend himself, Michael Gallagher, at level 1, ready to offer support as I tried the same lineup again to see if he really was the MVP. And when I thought he was gonna do this, he did this instead, dying immediately and not contributing to us winning at all. So it was back to the drawing board, aka switching the teams around. So with our very last attempt, I didn't really have much hope, but I still wanted to see if they could do better than Team Tosta. And I regret to inform you guys that they were pretty much neck and neck the whole time, thus marking the end of our challenge. While our results were pretty underwhelming, I still think the Bunsen burners did pretty good considering they were severely lacking in numbers. They were able to complete the Eurillo 6 phase with a few close calls, get to stage 2 of the Laofu phase, and ran out of fuel on stage 1 of Memory of Chaos. So this challenge probably wasn't the most exciting considering we only had 5, later 6 fire characters to use, but I feel like it was a nice start to what could be a fun series. If you couldn't tell, the MVP of this challenge was very clearly Hook, LeBron Hook, with the underdog save, hell yeah. Topaz gets Best Can Solo Award because she totally could have soloed, and I know that because, again, I had to re-record this several times. And on all of those attempts, I used Topaz to solo when I realized that was the most efficient way to use my time. So yes, in case you're wondering, she can solo the first 7, I believe, stages of the Eurillo 6 phase. So yeah, in case you guys are wondering, none of the other characters can do that, by the way. I think Gwei came in close with like maybe 5 or 6, give or take. Anyway, speaking of Gwei, she gets the DPS award because she still hits big numbers after 2 years of collecting dust on my account. That's right, 2 years. I have not used Gwei in 2 years. Why? Because I just made the realization after doing this challenge that I don't use any fire characters. Yikes. So we're running the ice supremacy over here, unfortunately. But, Gwei is still the all-star. Like, she's still one of my favorite 4-star characters, guys. And if you're curious, go check out the Gwei video. Matter of fact, go check out all the build videos of these characters. Meaning, I have a Topaz video, I have a Gwei video, and I have an Asta video. I have built all 3 of those characters. Maybe we'll redo this challenge again. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, go check out all those build videos because I think they're pretty interesting, and that's what made them so strong. My Topaz and my Gwei, they were killing it. Asta, I'm pretty sure she was missing a light cone, but she still killed that shit, so, you know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and who knows? I wonder what town our next group is blowing in from.